Hi guys, so today I'm going to walk you through how I do my daily bias, and I'll give you guys an example from the NQ trade. So usually from the daily bias, I like to start from the weekly or the daily, and I just want to see like where we're at. So as you guys can see on the weekly, we're in a daily, in a weekly fair value gap right now. Daily. So the trade was from yesterday, so it was around there. So it probably wouldn't have been in the weekly fair value gap. But anyways, on the daily, so we got that bearish daily candle right here. So that was a sign that we were bearish. And also because we are overextended, but we are still sort of in like a bullish trend. But this daily candle closed bearish yesterday. So I'm expecting some sort of retracements. Then what we got was on the 4-hour, which is the more important part. On the 4-hour, we got this 4-hour fair value gap right here. We got a 4-hour fair value gap right here as well. And from yesterday, the chart was like around here. So if you just imagine, it would be like, it was just retracing almost to this. So yesterday we were around there, right? So as you guys can see, you can think of it as you're retracing into this 4-hour fair value gap and continuing down, or it can be we're going into this 4-hour order block and then we're continuing upwards. The recent candles matter more than more previous candles, so that's why I was a bit more bearish, but we still have to keep looking. So we can also just mark this 4-hour order block out right now to see how the candles are reacting to it. So this did close a little bit below that 4-hour candle, so that is a little bit of a bearish sign than a bullish one. So going down to the 1-hour, there is 1-hour order blocks right here, but we already disrespected them. And as you guys can see from this low again, we closed this candle, we closed below this low. So it's not really respecting these order blocks at all. And then on the 1-hour, you guys can argue that there is 1-hour fair value gap being created here. But again, this 4-hour fair value gap matters more. And then we also have a 1-hour fair value gap right here, which is what I marked out. So 4-hour, we have a few fair value gaps. We have this one and we have this one. And we also have a 4-hour order block right here. It extends all the way down. So this move down, we have two fair value gaps and we have an order block. And we did end up retracing into that. So if we go down to the 1-hour, so I think we can get rid of that now. But if we go down to the 1-hour, you can see we just tapped into that 1-hour order block right here. Now we do have these 1-hour fair value gaps, so you can keep an eye on them, but I don't think these are valid anymore. So what I was doing was I looked at it and I wanted to see how it reacts to this area here. What also happened was these 1-hour fair value gaps, the reason why they're weaker than these was because these fair value gaps actually broke past a low. So these fair value gaps are stronger because they actually created a break of structure, but these fair value gaps are not as strong because we don't have a break of structure yet. So overall, the order flow is still bearish. So if you guys know like market structure, you know, we're just going down and then we're just retracing. So even though fair value gaps have been created here, it could just be a retracement. It probably isn't a reversal. I would only consider a reversal if there is an even bigger level here, like a daily order block or something that's that you can see is bouncing off of. But there was no daily order block. It was just a 4-hour order block that we kind of disrespected anyways. So when I come up with biases like this, I just like to weigh out all my confluences and weigh out all the all the order blocks and all the fair value gaps, understanding that the recent ones comes first, and also put a bit of market structure understanding to it. Since this is only just a reversal, you can see we pretty much hit the equilibrium right here. That's why these fair value gaps didn't really matter that much to me, but I did end up, during the trade, I did end up taking a little bit of positions off just because this candle right here, as you guys can see, this candle right here closed above and it kind of respected this fair value gap. So, and also again, another reason why this fair value gap is also kind of weak is because this candle already went into it. But then moving on, so we got that. So now we have 4-hour order block right here. We got 4-hour fair value gap, we got 1-hour fair value gap, and also on the 4-hour it did end up closing below this fair value gap as well, which is really nice to see. As you guys can see here, it did end up closing below this as well. So when you are in the trade, you can also kind of be aware of where the 4-hour fair value gap is and how it's like with respect to the 4-hour fair value gap. Going into this is like 9:30, 10-ish during New York is when I started looking for trades. Got a 5-minute fair value gap right here. What I should have done was I should have just entered here, but I didn't want to be too impulsive because Yeah, I really should have just entered here because we did get a break of structure and we also got a 5 minute fair value gap. We literally tapped into it, but I just wanted to be a bit more careful because of, again, that 1 hour fair value gap. Even though it is a weaker 1 hour fair value gap, it could still just do whatever it wants. So I just entered here off the second 5 minute fair value gap and stops just above that 5 minute fair value gap. Yep, so targeting that London session low. Sort of the rules to look at is just previous price action matters more. Look at the candles and also look at market structure. Just put it in context with all the different time frames, because I know previously if it was me from before, I would have just seen this candle and I would have just closed and I would have just tried to look for longs instead, because we did get like some sort of 4 hour order block or something. So I could have just been like 4 hour order block, we got a 1 hour fair value gap, and now we're just retracing to the equilibrium of the 1 hour. You know, I could have had something like that, right? If you see this candle that closed above, we could have just done that and just entered along here. That's what past me would have done. What's more important is just looking at the overall context. I saw somebody somewhere also had a long bias, so I'm not too sure why he had a long bias, but I can see why I would have had a long bias in the past. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.